In 2000, 9-year-old Asha Degree went to bed in her family's home in Shelby, North Carolina, and then walked out into a February rainstorm at 4 in the morning while two strangers watched her from their cars on Highway 18, and she stepped off the road into the trees with tracking dogs, search teams, and investigators covering every acre of those woods, turning up nothing. Asha Degree was 9 years old. She was a fourth grader at Cherryville Elementary. She liked to read. She played basketball. She made good grades. Her teachers described her as well-behaved. Her parents described her as a little shy. By every account from every person who knew her, she was not a troubled child. She had no history of running away. No history of anything that would explain what happened before the sun came up on February 14, 2000. That Sunday had been ordinary. The family spent part of the afternoon watching a basketball game. They went home. They went to bed. Asha and her younger brother Harold shared a bedroom. Before turning in, her parents checked on both children. Everything was where it should be. The storm outside was getting worse. Hard rain, strong wind, the kind of February night a 9-year-old stays inside. Something changed before 4 a.m. At approximately 4:00 in the morning, a driver heading north on Highway 18 noticed a small figure on the shoulder. A child, alone in the rain, walking. He thought it was wrong. He slowed but did not stop. He kept going. Minutes later, a second driver passed the same stretch of road. He saw her too. He turned his car around to go back and check on her. When he came back down the road, Asha was gone, not further up the shoulder, not standing still. She had left the road and run into the tree line. He did not call police that night. On Monday morning, Asha's parents found her bed empty and her backpack missing. They called 911 at 6:15 a.m. Whatever window existed had already been closed for more than 2 hours. Law enforcement searched the tree line. They brought tracking dogs. They covered the fields, the creek beds, the surrounding woods in all directions. They searched a construction shed on a plot of land near the highway. They expanded the perimeter over multiple days. They came back each time with nothing. No footprints leading anywhere useful. No dropped item. No witness who saw Asha Degree after that second driver watched her disappear into the dark. The rain had complicated physical evidence, but it did not explain a complete absence. What it could not explain was the backpack. She had packed it herself, deliberately, quietly, without waking her brother, at some point before 4 a.m. This was not a confused child wandering out in a daze. This was a child who prepared to leave. That fact pointed investigators toward the most obvious conclusion: a runaway. It fit in several ways. The bag was packed. The departure was intentional. She had made a deliberate choice at some hour in the night to get up and get dressed and fill a bag and walk north on a state highway in the dark during a rainstorm. Investigators spoke to her teachers, her classmates, her family, her friends. They looked for a reason, an argument at home, a threat at school, something in the days before Valentine's Day. They found nothing. No conflict, no incident, no note. Her parents were consistent across every interview. Nothing had been wrong. And that is where the runaway theory falls apart. When the second driver turned his car around, Asha ran, not toward him, not toward help. She ran off the road, away from him, into the woods, into the dark and the rain. Runaways, especially young ones, typically accept help when someone comes back for them. They are tired and frightened and they want someone to step in. Remember the backpack she packed. She had a plan, but the plan did not include being seen by anyone. Which means if someone was waiting for her, if this was not a solo decision but a coordinated meeting, she was protecting it. She ran into those trees to keep that driver from knowing what she was doing. That changes the entire shape of what happened on Highway 18. Then there is the detail that no investigator has ever been able to explain. On February 7, 2001, nearly 1 year after Asha vanished, workers clearing land near Highway 18 found a buried bag. Inside were Asha's belongings, her backpack wrapped in plastic, concealed in the earth less than 2 miles from where she was last seen. Someone buried them after she disappeared. That person had access to what she was carrying on the night she walked out of her house, and they took the time to wrap it in plastic and put it in the ground, and they have never been identified. They have never come forward. No one knows who they are. Asha Degree's case remains open. She would be 35 years old today. No remains have ever been found. No suspect has ever been charged. That buried bag is the last physical trace the investigation ever produced. Someone knew where to put it. Why has no one ever had to explain that?